Hello. How you doing? This is the As Anthony Says podcast. This is the S. Anthony Thomas, and this is episode number 331, episode number 331. Yes. After this episode is completed, I will have done this crap 331 times. I know what you're thinking. Dude, what's wrong with you? Why would you do this crap 331 times? Well, I would have to say to you people, well, you've been listening to this crap 331 times, a whole bunch of you. How about that? Now, who's the crazy one, me or you? That's not going to help me grow my audience, right? By ridiculing the audience for listening to me. Let me rewind it. You guys are the best. I'm going to move on now because I'm messing up. Okay, moving on. Now, let me ask you a question, my friends. Are you easily embarrassed? Do you get embarrassed very, very easily? Now, I've been a comedian for a long, long time. And on October 22nd of this year, this podcast will be 5 years old. And then a few days later, I'll be 50 years old. Old. Damn. Let me reflect on that for a moment. Oh, God, it's over for me. God, I thought I'd be much further along than this in my life. I mean, I'm doing okay, but damn. I mean, this is, oh, God. Oh, God, what's wrong with my life? Well, let me finish this podcast. They don't need to hear this crap. Anyway, folks, listen. Are you the kind of people that get embarrassed easily? You know, I'm not the kind of person that gets embarrassed easily. I've been doing comedy a long time. I've been doing this podcast 5 years in October, the end of October. And usually, you know, if something embarrassing happens to me, I can use it as fodder in the podcast and or stand up. So I'm a bad case to use as far as are you easily embarrassed, because something like I've said before, something embarrassing or stupid happens to me, and for a moment I'm like, oh wow, this is embarrassing. And then I think, oh wow, I have stand-up material. Oh wow, podcast topics. So it's really not that big a deal for me, at least not now. Maybe when I was younger. Because I remember being younger and being embarrassed by a lot of things. I was a very shy child. I don't know if any of you are shy, but if you were shy children or shy teenagers like I was, then you know what happens when you become embarrassed. You just kind of close up. You want to get away from everything. You don't want to talk about it. You don't want to think about it. You don't want to remember it. You act like it didn't happen, right? You have those, all right, I'm done here moments, right? And we've all had, all right, I'm done here moments, haven't you? I remember one of my earliest ones as a young person. I was at my friend's house and we're hanging out, and he's one of 900 children. Okay. Big family, lots of people. I could have literally just moved into the place. They wouldn't have known. They were like, hey, wait a minute. 900 of our children are white and we have this black one. What happened? And I would go, hey, come on, Pop, stop messing around. I want some more macaroni and cheese. I could have easily done that. No, I couldn't have. You would have noticed. But I'm at my friend's house, one of 900 children. And we're hanging out, man. We're hanging out and doing things. And back then, video games were new. You know, video games were new. Nowadays, video games are everywhere. You have Comic Con and Video Con and Double Con and Quadruple Con and Incredible Con and all of that crap. But back then, video games were new. So, I'm at my friend's house. And I'm part of the family, I guess, right? They always thought of me a part of the family. You know, when you're sitting there and you're at somebody's house and you're going, can I have another soda, Miss Johnson? She goes, Steve, come on now. You're like family. You just go in there and get it, right? But there's a part of you that just can't do that because you don't want to be there when you get too comfortable. You go one time too many, and you ever seen that look on a person's face where they like you, but you just kind of push the limits of what is acceptable from you? I've been that person. I've had people come to my house. They're at my house. They're drinking and grabbing and grooving and grooving and eating and grabbing and grooving, right? And then they get a little too wild going into my damn refrigerator. I said, go get some sodas. I didn't say a damn thing about that wine cooler. You know, the one that's all the way in the back hidden behind stuff. I didn't say grab that jackass. All of the sodas are right there in front, readily available, you know, inviting you to grab one of them. But the wine cooler I had saved, the only alcoholic beverages that I actually used, the one wine cooler in the back behind something should have told you, hey, all of these sodas are here waving at me. These sodas actually have come drink me written on them. And this wine cooler's in the back has a sign on it that says, whatever you do, do not drink this, because S. Anthony has been saving this because he doesn't drink much alcohol. And this is the only alcohol that he drinks. He likes this flavor. They don't sell this flavor close to his house, so he can only pick it up when he's doing a gig far away. And this is the last one, and he's not going to be able to get one again for another 4 months when he plays that club again. So don't touch it, you piece of crap. Which is ironic because the bottle is not that big, and the fact that all of that was written on it shows you how small I write. I did not write that on there. So I walk into the refrigerator and there's 9,000 sodas. I remember how many there were because I bought the sodas for these jackasses to drink, those bastards. And this bastard, this overreaching, pushing the envelope, don't know when to stop bastard, is literally with his hand on my wine cooler. When I see the things I put in front of the wine cooler knocked over, he didn't even just move them to the side. He just reached through him, grabbed the wine cooler and pulled his hand out and knocked crap over and spilt the little crap in the refrigerator that I had that was meticulously cleaned by me. And I look at the bastard and he puts his hand on the can opener and he's about to pop open my wine cooler because it was one of those tops you have to pop off, not the kind you can twist, that piece of crap. And I ran over really quickly and I grabbed the wine cooler and I looked at him and I said, what does this say on the bottle? It says, blah, 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 wine cooler. Mm-hmm. Wine cooler. When I told you to come in here, I said soda, right? Oh, yeah, but I saw this. I know. I don't care what you saw. I mean, if you're walking past me right now and you're looking in your wallet and you're about to hand somebody some money and I see, and you say, put my wallet on the table right there? And I see a 20 hanging out and I go, well, I see a 20 and I just take it. Would that be fun, huh? Would you like that? Well, no, it was really not analogous because this is just a wine cooler which probably only cost about $2. And that's a $20 bill. I said, okay, well, we'll stop the analogies. We won't do any metaphors. What we're going to do right now is I'm going to say this. Put my wine cooler back. Because if you don't put my wine cooler back, you see that can opener you have in the other hand? Yes. Exactly. What do you mean? I was trying to be threatening. Oh, well, you're not really a violent guy, so I don't know why, you should have just said I'm being a dick and then told me, you're not going to hit me. You're a nice person. You're not, I've only seen you whip people's asses when they actually tried to whip your ass first. That is true. I don't know why I talk about this slightly violent, playfully violent stuff when people know that I won't raise my hand to someone unless they actually try to raise their hand to me. So I guess that was kind of dumb on my part, but that's beside the point. Put my wine cooler back, you bastard. And he put the wine cooler back and I took the wine cooler and I put it in another refrigerator where no one can get to with those bastards. Why am I talking about wine coolers? Oh yes, embarrassment. So I'm at my friend's house, okay? And they make me feel like family. That's what I was talking about. Being family and overstepping your boundaries. So, my friend says, hey man, you like family. Go back and get another soda. Great. So one time, me being family, his mother tells him to go get her glasses upstairs in her room. I've never been in her room, have no reason to go in her room. I would never overstep my boundaries. I'm family to the point where I can be comfortable in the living room, in the dining room, in the kitchen, and in the basement, and in the bathroom. Anybody's personal rooms, I'm not family like that. So he goes to me, hey man, go get them glasses from my mother, man. I said, she told you to get them. Yo, dude, you like family, go get them glasses, man. Come on, man, I'm busy, man. I'm trying to win this game, man. Come on, man. That's what he started to sound like, because he was whining like a punk, and I got tired of it. So, all right, I'll go get him. So I run up the steps. His mother walks in. Didn't I tell you to get the glasses? What did you do? Are you not listening to me? I told Steve to go get it. What? I could hear that from upstairs. And just as I turn around inside of her room, I see her glasses on the desk. And what else is on the desk? Oh. It's one of those things that women wear when, how can I put this? Like I said, he's one of 7,000 children that she had. It's a big family. And when women have lots of children, sometimes when, All right, I'm just going to say it. Sometimes when they sneeze or laugh, let's just say that before the sneeze or the laugh, their underwear is dry. After the sneeze or laugh, their underwear is not dry. There's a little bit of, and there was a product there that I didn't recognize right away, but as I moved closer to pick up the glasses, see, a long time ago, people are more discreet with packaging now. When I was younger, people were a lot less discreet when they. So I tried to act like I did not see the package of pee-pee stopper. I'm like, is that the best name they could come up with? And I could hear her running upstairs. Hey, I'll get them, Steve. And I'm standing there holding her glasses. And I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I'm standing right there, the glasses and the thing of pee-pee stopper was right there. And I'm looking and she's looking at me and I'm looking at her and she's looking at me and I'm looking at her and she's looking at me and I'm looking at her. And then I think my friend realized what was going on because he obviously had been in his mom's room. So he knows she had pee-pee stopper in there and he runs up, oh God. And now we're all standing there. I'm standing there with the glasses and standing next to the bag of pee-pee stopper with the pad thing to put in the underwear to stop the pee-pee. And she's looking at me and I'm looking at her and he's looking at her and she's looking at him and she looks back at him. And I can tell she's not a spanker. She's not a spanker, but she might become a spanker after this. And she's looking at me and I'm looking at her and she's looking at me and I'm looking at him and he's looking at him and he's looking at me and he's looking back at me and I'm looking at her and we're looking all at each other and then we're all looking at the bag of pee-pee stopper. Oh no. Your glasses, here's your, well anyway, and she walks past me, right? And she tries to, how somebody tries to hide something, to make sure that you don't see it. And so a lot of times you don't know what they're moving. You just see them moving something and you realize it's something that they don't want you to see. So you go, well, if they don't want me to see it, it's no big deal. Who cares? Right? Right? But when they do that, when you've already seen the thing, it actually draws more attention to the thing. So she walks past me. Anyway, Steve, thank you for getting my glasses. Very nice of you. Meet you. Go downstairs right now. And she she pushes the bag, the little pee-pee stopper bag, and she pushes it into the trash can. I know it's not going to be in the trash can. She tries to act like it's trash. First of all, the bag was only kind of open. She probably only took one of the pee-pee stoppers out of there to put it in the underwear, and she pushes it in the trash can, and my friend starts to snicker, and then she looks at him. And then at the look on her face, I looked at my arm and I saw a burn mark on my arm where my shirt was burned and my arm was burned by the laser look she shot at his punk ass. And then he said, and stopped laughing really quickly. And I'm like, I'm going to go downstairs now. And then he's like, she goes, come here, Bill. And then she brings him over and she's looking at him. You wait downstairs. Well, I wasn't S yet. She was Steve back then. You wait downstairs. I'm like, yes, Mrs. Johnson. I trip and fall on the ground. He goes, he starts laughing. He goes, and you know what? Come back here, Steve. I really should go. No, come here. Just sit down on the bed. You sit down with him. How can I, this is really kind of a teachable moment right now. It's really no reason to be embarrassed, Steve. No, listen, you can look at, both of you guys look at me. All right, listen. Bill is one of my 17 million children that I had. Mr. Johnson and I love each other. We have children and, we wanted to just have as many children as we can, and Mr. Johnson and I, but, when a woman has a lot of children, I really think I should go. No, you don't have to go. It's nothing being embarrassed about it. It's healthy. It's natural. There's a lot of changes to a woman's body when she has children, especially if she has as many children as I have, because I've had 14.6 billion children, as you know, because they're all downstairs making noise. And what happens is when a woman, and she starts to explain what happens to a woman's vagina after several childbirths, I do not want to hear this. I was about 4 steps away from getting out the door. Had I not tripped, I would have been downstairs and I would have already been playing video games and playing with my other friends and having a great time. So much so that, kids forget stuff. I would have forgotten about it. Maybe something would have reminded me and I would have snickered about it, but it would have been burned into my mind as it is now, decades and decades and decades later. But she's going into it. Some people, when they're embarrassed, they go into way too much detail when they're explaining things because they figure if they make it as clinical as possible, then you'll take it seriously. You won't snicker. You won't laugh. It won't be embarrassing. And that is really, really not the case because you're a kid. And I'm sitting there going, there's a part of my brain that is trying to just literally stop her from talking. It's almost as if a part of I evolved, evolution of a creature. It's almost like I evolved to the point where there was a seal on my ears and it was stopping most of the words that came out of her mouth. And I know I have to look at her because I don't want to be disrespectful, but she won't shut the hell up. I'm looking at the clock in 17 minutes has gone by. Why is this taking you 17 minutes to tell me this crap? I would have forgotten all about it. And why are you taking it back out of the trash can and explaining oh God, it's it's called pee-pee stopper. That's not really what it was called. I don't remember what it was called, but it was one of those really embarrassing names. And she's explaining, and of course my friend is now some combination of vomiting and laughing. He desperately wants to get out of the room. I'm pretty sure he's already had this talk, but I'm sitting there going, I don't need to hear this crap, right? And only a few words are getting through. Vaginal canal kind of gets through the blockade in my ear, but damn it. Okay. I can deal with that, but I don't let that. Then the word discharge. Okay. Come on, man. The tearing. Oh God, really? And then she won't stop talking, right? And then I'm thinking she's wrapping it up. She's not wrapping it up. She's not wrapping it up at all, right? And I don't want to be rude, but I basically had one of my first, all right, I'm done here moments, right? And I very politely said, you know what? I have to call my mother because it's bloop, bloop, bloop o'clock. Oh, okay. We'll finish this talk later. And I'm thinking she's not going to finish this talk later. She's embarrassed too. She doesn't want to have this talk. She's embarrassed. And I was so glad, right? And I had to make a phone call. I called one of my friends. He was like, "Who are you calling for?" I said, "Just shut up and act like you're my mother." And right. And then we resumed our normal kid activities. Of course, my friend and I took turns vomiting in the toilet after hearing all that crap. And, but after that, everything back to normal. That was one of my first, hey, all right, I'm done here moments. I remember it vividly. I still can feel the bed on my buttocks as I wished I could shrink up to the size of something that could fall through the fibers so I could not see or hear Mrs. Johnson talk about that. But we have those moments all the time. We all have those. All right, I'm done here. We have those moments all the time, right? It's embarrassment. When the embarrassment just becomes too much. It happened to me recently. Now, when I say recently, I mean within the past 3 years, okay? Because what I just described to you happened decades and decades and decades and decades ago, yet it's still burned into my memory. I can still see that. Never mind, moving on. But I go to a supermarket sometimes at night. You do gigs, as a comedian. I found a supermarket that was open 24 hours a day. And sometimes when you go to a gig, you get paid. You get paid your money, obviously. And then you get, or they have a check, or you say, you have it mailed to your house sometimes, or, some people can automatically deposit it, whatever the hell the situation is. But you go home and sometimes you want to eat at the club and sometimes you don't. Sometimes the food's good. Sometimes it isn't. Sometimes you don't feel like dealing with it. You just want to get the stuff you like. And I'm one of those sometimes. I'll take the meal that they have, but I'll still get the stuff that I like from the supermarket. And I found a market that was open 24 hours a day. Fantastic. Right? And when I would do gigs, especially locally to where I was living at the time, or if I was, leaving a girlfriend's house or hanging out with some friends or just out something like that at a bar, hanging out with my boys, and I wanted to grab something to eat either at that moment or later on that evening or later on that day I just wanted to have it, I would go to this market. And I became a regular at this market. I liked the market. I knew where everything was. It was open late at night. Obviously, there's almost nobody in the parking lot, you know. It was a great place to go. And when you go to places like that where there's not a lot of people, if you go to a market that's very, very crowded, you really don't have that much time to become friendly with the people working there. You don't, because they don't have time to talk with you. They have things to do. You can't get into a long conversation with the teller when there's 10 people in line or 20 people in line behind you, unless you want to get beaten up in the parking lot. You can't do it. But at the time of night I was going, it was okay to do, and I did, and I became friendly with one of the ladies there. But what started to happen was her shift changed, and she was replaced by someone else. And I became friendly with that lady. And it was great. I looked forward to seeing whichever one was there. It was great. But what started to happen was their shifts both changed, and now they were both doing the overnight shift on different sides of the supermarket. I mean, they were a couple of aisles away from each other. And I knew and had become friendly with both of them. And obviously, I can only go to one to check out. So whoever I was checking my food out with and paying, I got to talk to longer. And I'd get a quick little, hey, what's going on? How's it going? How's the kids? Blah, 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 blah. Talk with the other one on the way out. Right? But they both like me. They both think I'm funny. Okay? They both think I'm cute. Okay? Right? Not that they were going to jump on top of me, but they think I'm cute and funny. But quite frankly, who doesn't? Moving on. So basically, I would go to the counter of the person who was closest to the last item I purchased. So if it was milk, it would be Lady A, right? If it was something else, it would be Lady B, depending on where it was in the supermarket. And they kind of figured that part out, right? So one time I go to Lady A, and Lady B is a couple aisles over. Right. I didn't even know I know Lady B was there, but Lady A was there. I saw her because I was coming back with some milk or some crap. And I'm talking with Lady A, and Lady B jokingly goes, hey, you trying to steal my guy? You know, and then they're both back and forth jokey. Ha 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 ha. Oh, it becomes funny. I go to see Lady B because she's closer to the last thing I put in my cart. And Lady A goes, oh, what, you cheating on me with Lady B? Ha 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 ha. And it's all funny. Like, oh yeah, oh yeah, ha ha. It's all great. Ha 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 ha. And I of course jokingly go, I know one thing. There's one aisle in between the both of us, and there's a big aisle between the both of you. Is there any way you could both ring me up together? I don't share my cousin. I don't share my cousin. We're all joking. It's jokes. It's jokes. And it's initiated by them. I didn't go there until they went there, and I kept it light, and I didn't go too far with it, and they didn't go too far with it. Jokey, 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 fun, fun, fun. Ha ha ha. Great. Well, something happened, and I started doing some gigs someplace else, which means I didn't go to the supermarket for a while, right? And then one time I come back and I hadn't seen them in a while, and they're both there, and it's great. I thought it was going to be great. I thought, hey, we're going to have our little jokey, whoever I'm with, Lady B, Lady A, whatever. They're going to have a little jokey. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. But they're smiling at me and shooting looks at each other. Oh. Something happened between them that I still don't know about. Happened between the last time I saw them when everything was jokey, ha ha ha. And now it's like, hey, how you doing, S? Hey, what's going on? How you doing, Lady A? Hey, S, how you doing, Lady B? Hey, how you guys doing tonight? I'm doing fine. I'm also doing fine. Oh. So now I'm shopping, and then it's just like normal shopping, man. I go to get something. If it happens to be by Lady A, she's the one closest to me. I go to Lady A, and I'm talking to Lady A, and we're having a jokey, ha 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 ha. I try to drag Lady B back into it. Lady B ain't having none of that. And I'm thinking she's mad at me. And Lady A is looking at Lady B, and Lady B won't even look at me standing there talking to Lady A. She don't like it. She's got a mood that all of a sudden she's ringing up people, and she's putting stuff down on the counter harder than it needs to be. And the cash register, which normally closes slowly, bang, it's closed fast. Uh-oh. And I get my stuff, and I finish my pleasant conversation with Lady A, and I'm walking past Lady B, and I don't even know if I'm going to say anything to her because I think she's mad at me, and she's not mad at me. After she runs from behind the counter, it's great to see you. She gives me a big hug and a kiss on the cheek, and it's great. Right? I'm not trying to move in on them. It's just like, it's like a friendly hug and kiss on the cheeks. I mean, you haven't seen it often. Nothing sexual at all, okay? Even though they're both cute. Moving on. I come back another time from another gig. The stuff that I get on the side with Lady B. As I go get the stuff from Lady B, I'm having a conversation with Lady B. I'm thinking whatever's between them is blown over. I thought wrong. I'm there with Lady B. Lady A can't turn around because I'm on the other side of her, so she has to look at us, and she's looking at it. It was a weird combination of when she was looking at me, she was smiling a little bit, then she turned her head a little bit and look at Lady B, and she did exactly the same thing, right? All of a sudden, she's ringing up people's stuff and bang, hitting stuff on the counter a little too hard, looking over at her. And I swear to goodness, I have good eyesight. I mean, I'm at the point now I was 47 or so then, I think it was. I need my glasses to read I can read books and I can read my phone, but if I read really small print, I need to put my glasses on for that. But I could see her. I'm telling you, even at that distance, I could see her mouth the words, dirty bitch. Oh, things have escalated. Oh, so I say goodbye to Lady B because I'm at her counter at this particular time. And then she looks over at Lady A, walks from behind that counter, gives me a big hug, a kiss on the forehead, and says, nice to see you again, and goes back to behind the cash register, looks back over at Lady A as if to say, take that bitch. Actually, she did say, take that bitch under her breath. I'm full disclosure, right? So I'm putting my cart back and Lady A comes over, I'll take that. And she pushes the cart behind, and then she gives me a hug and a kiss on the forehead twice, and then looks over at Lady A like, yeah, bitch, I just keep giving. And then she, and then as I was walking away, she pretended like she was trying to pat me on the back, but she actually caught me in the ass area, which I was cool with. I mean, never mind. That's beside the point. Haven't had a date in a few months, F y'all. And then I'm walking away. Oh. And this goes on for a while. It goes on for a while, escalating, right? I'm damn near getting felt up by both of them to try to outfeel up the other one. The other one, I'm sitting there going, what the hell is this? Actually, I didn't say what the hell is this. I was like, I think I need to go shopping more often. F y'all, don't judge me. I hadn't had a date in a while back then. Just like now. Too much information. Back to the story. F y'all. Moving back. So one time I go to the store. Oh no. And I realize the thing that I need to get at this particular time, the thing I need to purchase at this particular time is not by Lady A, nor is it by Lady B. Oh. And here's the thing. By some weird coincidence, it never happened before. Lady A and Lady B's aisles are right next to each other. Dead center in the middle of all the aisles. Which means, oh no. And I'm thinking about the products that I have to get, and they're in the middle of the store. See, beforehand, they knew instinctively that what I was not dictating, I wasn't deciding which person to go to. It was my purchase that was deciding which person to go to. It was not me making the decision. So basically, they could justify me going to the other one because it wasn't about them. It wasn't my decision. It was just which one everyone was closer. It was like if you flip a coin between two people, they can't get mad at you. You flip the coin. Hey, Ed's A, heads, B, tails, flip, and they can't get mad at you. But now it's not a coin. Oh no. Now it's a box with two straws in it. One that says A and one that says B, and you have to make a choice to pick one, which means now it's on you. And by you, I mean me. Oh. There was a part of me that just wanted to go, okay, well, know what I'm going to do? I'm going to buy some milk. That way it will be on Lady A's side. But I just bought milk yesterday, and they know what I buy enough to know when I buy milk, and they'll know I bought the milk just to be over there. So we'll be like, oh, so you want to be with Lady A, you motherfucker, you well. And or I could buy some stuff from Lady B's side. They're going, damn well you don't need any more damn grapes. You bought 2 pounds of grapes yesterday. You don't eat that much grapes, you rotten mother sucker. You just wanted to be over there with Lady B, you bastard. Oh, I'm looking at both of them, and I'm at the back of the thing. And the good part about it is they didn't even see me come in. It was fantastic. They were so busy looking at each other and deciding whether or not they could get away with murder that they didn't see me come in. But I see them, and they don't see me. And I'll be honest with you, normally, under normal circumstances, normally, I am not a punk. Okay? Normally, I would just walk up, randomly pick one, and then go about my business and not give a crap about it. But everybody has punk moments. You know what I'm saying? Come on now, right? Who are some of the toughest, strongest people in the world? UFC fighters, right? They are trained killers. They literally could just beat up 99.9% of the non-UFC population effortlessly, and they fight each other. They're trained killers, trained to kill other people who are trained killers, right? And I've seen friends of mine who double black belts and quadruple black belts and quintuple black belts. I knew a guy that used to break boards with his balls. He's like, dude, use your hand. I don't want to use my hand. I'm a real man. Put the board up. Is this guy going to break the board with his balls? This is disgusting. Crack, I broke the board with my balls. That's right. But that same guy saw a spider, not a gigantic spider, not a huntsman spider. Hi, Australia. Nothing like that, right? He just saw one of those, it wasn't even a daddy long legs. It's one of those punk ass spiders that even women who are, or little girls or little boys or dudes who are regular people and not UFC fighters, even, or Kentucky black belts and quadruple black belts like this guy, a regular person may be scared of this, and he beats people up and breaks boards with his balls, right? And I'm not a big fan of spiders. I'll be honest. I saw a spider once and went, whoa, shit. And I didn't even step on it because I didn't want to get that close to it. I took a book that I was going to throw out anyway and crushed his punk ass. And then I cut that part of the floor out and threw it all away because I didn't want to pick the book up and see the crushed spider. That's why people walk through my living room and immediately fall into the basement. They're going, is that the spider hole, you big punk? And I went, don't judge me. I digress back to the story. And he's breaking the board with his balls and he sees the spider and he gets scared like a punk and whines like a sissy. And I went, don't you have 8 black belts and you beat up people, you're a double bouncer and a quadruple bouncer and you have a 29-6 record in full contact fights and crap and you whine like a little punk when it's a spider? Shut up, man. So people are scared sometimes. So don't judge me because I wanted to punk out in the supermarket scenario, you bastards. But I'm looking at them. And I'm like, well, I didn't actually pick up any products in this supermarket yet. The stuff that I'm getting is basically like preemptive purchasing, but like you're kind of running out of something. And so, well, since I'm here, I might as well. I got a half a gallon of milk left, but I'm going to need more milk eventually. And then I'm going to finish this off in a couple of days. So I might as well get the milk now. This was a preemptive purchase trip. So I could actually just buy the stuff I need tomorrow or the next day or whenever they're not right next to each other. Don't judge me. Remember, Kung Fu Boy was scared of spiders. Shut up. Back to me. So I'm easing around the supermarket. I'm sliding around the side, right? And I'm moving around so suspiciously. I now have 27 security guards looking at me. And they're like, look at that guy right there. And they go, oh, that's Steve. Never mind. He's here all the time. I'm like, shh. And they're like, you're hiding from the 2 ladies, aren't you? I'm like, mind your business. And he's like, I should tell on you. And I'm going, I should tell on you because there's a couple of guys I saw steal some stuff and you didn't say nothing. And he goes, and then he walked away. That part's not true. So I'm walking around and I'm trying to head out, right? And I go, you know what? I'm going to get a couple of things. I'm just going to go to the teller, the self-checkout thing. They can't even see the self-checkout thing from where they are. I can grab a couple. I'm going to get all my stuff. So I go get the stuff that I wanted to get in the first place. I'm like, I didn't even think about this. I could just go to this teller right here. If they don't see me, I don't even have to go to these 2 ladies because I don't feel like dealing with this crap in the first place. Damn it. So I slide on over to the teller there, right? And there's normally when you have the self-checkout, there's a lady standing there to make sure, or a guy standing there to make sure that everything's cool, but there was no one there. Oh, clean break. I'm going to get all the stuff that I want, get the hell out of here. And I now know before I come into the supermarket, stick my head in really quickly and see where they're placed. If they're next to each other, no, get out of there. If they're not next to each other, everything's back to normal. I don't care if they hate each other, right? So I got my stuff and I'm about to go to the teller. I'm about to ring myself up at the self-checkout. I'm about to make a clean break with, hey, Steve! Steve Thomas! No one calls me Steve anymore. Everyone calls me S. Anthony because they know I prefer S. Anthony or S. The simple fact that someone's yelled Steve means it's somebody I've known for a long period of time. I don't recognize the voice yet, but I do know that this is I do recognize the voice. I remembered who it was because this guy learned how to whisper in an airplane factory. I turn around and I go, hey, what's going on? I go, hey, and I try to say, hey, quietly. Hey, what's up? I try to stick my hand out so he'll shut the heck up knowing I acknowledged him, right? And that way he will stop yelling, but he goes, yeah, I saw you on TV, man. I heard the thing, all loud, right? And everybody's looking, look at this loud guy. And as they, meaning everyone else in the store, looks at the loud guy, guess what other two people now are aware that I'm in the store? Exactly. And they're looking at me and I'm looking at them and they're looking at me and I'm looking at my friend I was plotting the murder of, but he was a nice guy. We weren't like buddy, but we were cool. I give him the bro hug. We reminisce a little bit and I, with my foot, slowly kick my little basket away from the instant teller because the self-checkout because I don't want these two angry women to realize I was about to ditch their punk asses. Right. And I'm talking to him and I'm going, and he goes, are you going to check yourself out? I'm like, nah, I ain't going, I don't know. I don't even know how to use these machines. Of course I know how to use the machines, right? And when I said I know how to use these machines, the two ladies who were angry kind of, their faces relaxed. They're like, oh, he's not trying to cheat on us with that machine, So I ditch his punk ass and I started walking towards the ladies. Now, on this side of the store, obviously, I have to go to Lady B because technically I'm closer to her, right? And I go to Lady B and I put my stuff up on the counter and now she's happy. Anyway, yes, beep, 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 pleasant conversation, beep, 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 talking, smiling, laughing, laughing even harder than necessary at her own jokes just to annoy the lady behind her who's Lady A. And every time Lady A tries to say something to me, she kind of, you ever seen one of those court cases where the prosecutor is talking to the person on the stand and I want you to tell me right now, did your wife do it? And then the person on the stand looks over at the wife like, there's two things I'm trying to avoid here. First of all, she actually did do it, but I also like having sex with her. So I need her to be not convicted, cause I want to have sex with her. And also if I say that she did it and she gets off, she's a damn murderer. I already know that. So I look, and you see the guy looking over at her like, oh shit. And then the prosecutor steps in between them. Don't look at her. Look at me, damn it, and answer the question. Well, it was kind of like that. Right? I'm looking over. I'm going to give a pleasantry to Lady A. Lady B jumps in front. Anyway, yes. Hey, Lady A starts to try to talk. Lady B gets loud. And Lady A goes, I'm trying to talk to him. Well, I'm trying to do my job. Why don't you do your job? Well, I'm doing my job. And all of a sudden, I'm sitting there. My stuff's all but one item has been rung up while they're fighting. And I go, hey, don't forget me now. Oh, I'm so sorry. She rings up my thing. She does the thing, gives me the money, puts the stuff in the bag while Lady A saying disparaging things about something. I'm not going to repeat what she said, but it was pretty mean, even though Lady B had already said mean stuff about her. But I'm just trying to get the hell out of there. And I walk, and I'm trying to put my stuff now in the cart. Now they both are standing on both sides of me. And you ain't not about to, well, let me tell you, you ain't not about to, the other people in the store completely ignore them. The store manager's sitting there with a paper in his hand. He looks up at them and he goes, and goes right back to his paper. Apparently this has happened before. And all of a sudden, they are trying to embarrass the other one. Lady A says, well, did you know this about her? And says some inside information about Lady B that I did not need to know. I did not need to know. I did not need to know. And Lady B does exactly the same thing. Oh, yeah, well, what about her? She ain't nothing but a, and then she says some stuff I do not want to hear. I do not want to hear. I do not want to hear. And then they're back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And now they're spinning me by my arm. Well, she, she, and back and forth and back and forth. And people are starting to look at me and they're laughing. They're laughing because they don't, from the outside looking in, you see me standing between two attractive ladies, right? Both of them pulling me by the arm in different directions. And if you were looking at it from the outside, you would think that I was sleeping with both of them and I didn't know they worked together and they found out about it and that was what the situation was, and it wasn't the situation. I mean, they were both cute, so it would have been kind of cool if it was the situation, not the whole cheating part, but at least getting to nail one of them. Moving on. So they're doing all this kind of stuff, and now the store managers, he actually looked up. This time he looked up for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, back to the paper. And I'm going, oh God, what is going on here, right? And then they started getting into like really deep personal information about each other. And I'm sitting there going, they must have been really good friends to have this kind of intel on each other. And I got all my stuff and I have my bags on my arm and they're still going at it. And I'm looking at them going, oh God, what the hell is going on here? What have I got myself into? I am not coming to this store again. Unless I can get it on with these ladies. I shouldn't have said that, but I do want to get it on with them. But that's beside the point. So and she's got, and she's had several, and well, she used to give me, and I just said, all right, I'm done here. And they go, oh, we're so sorry. We're so sorry. We shouldn't have dragged you into the middle of this. We're, cause I was embarrassed. Maybe people to look at me. Cause think about it. People are looking at me like I had nothing to do with this. Nothing. I did nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. I had nothing to do with this crap. But all of a sudden people are looking at me like, he must have done something. Them two girls wouldn't be fighting like that if he didn't do something. He must have done something. He's one of them dudes he probably got 16 baby mamas also. He probably got women in stores all over the city that are fighting over him because he be doing stuff that's not right. He's just one of them dudes that just keeps doing stuff. I know he must be one of them dudes and he get, and I start overhearing that. He must be one of them dudes. He must have did something to him. They wouldn't be mad like that if he didn't do something. So I walk away and I leave the situation and they're still fighting. People are looking at me as I walk out. Like there's the guy that caused the whole altercation. That bastard right there. There he is. And the whole time I'm going, why didn't the security guard come over and do something, right? But the security guard's job is basically to stop people from stealing stuff. And also apparently to point at me and laugh as I walk out of the supermarket. Brother, man, I don't know how you got in the middle of that shit, man. Was you fucking them or something? I'm like, no, I didn't. No. I would like to. I said, no. He goes, oh man, that's kind of embarrassing that you got to be embarrassed through all of this. You ain't even get you ain't get none of that, man. I'm sorry, man. If I had a couple of women fight over me like that, but at least I got some, man. If I was you, man, to go through all of this, man, you should probably try to get some of one of them. You should try to get some of that. They both cute, right? Yeah, but but I'm just saying, you gonna tell me you don't want some of that? I gotta go. All right, man, I'm just telling you, man, let me, I'm just saying, you should be, if it was me, I'd have to get some of that, at least one of them, what I'm saying, And I walk out of the supermarket. I get into the mighty Toyota Camry. I put my stuff in and I look back through the window and they're still fighting. I started thinking about what the security guard said. I was like, well, I know most of that is them just not liking each other, but they were both flirty and they're both good looking. And maybe I should. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. If I have the restraint to not get it on with Granny Sweetbutt, those of you that have been listening to my podcast for a long time, you know who Granny Sweetbutt is. I'm not going to explain. Go back and listen to all my podcasts and you'll know what I mean. Damn it. Yeah, that's right. That's your assignment. And, I didn't get it on with her when she was basically begging me to jump on top of her. But I was like, you can't, because now I know these two ladies, have anger management problems, and as much fun as would be to jump on top of either one of them, or better yet, both of them, but that definitely wasn't going to happen. I know now that I have the kind of moral character that I would not take advantage of that situation. I decided to just go to another store. You know what I mean? And just, let that situation handle itself. It was embarrassing. Like I said, the whole idea about this whole episode is to talk about, moments where you get embarrassed by stuff that had nothing to do with you. And, are you going to tell them the truth? I am telling the truth. I'm telling them the truth. Dude, you going to tell them the truth? Are you going to tell them what happened after that? But there is nothing that happened after that. Dude, you went back and you nailed both of them. Okay, come on, man. Leave the jokes to me. Okay. Come on, man. I was there. I saw you. You went back into the store. You sat down and you had lunch with both the ladies, and they said, hey, we're sorry for acting that way, and we both just like you, but, and you said, ha ha ha, I wish I could have both of you. And they said, well, guess what, you can. And then you came back after they were off, and you went back to Lady A's house, and you banged Lady A and Lady B at the same time. I was actually lying when I told you that I was just trying to impress you. Sometimes guys will say things like that just to, try to sound more. I mean, it's an embarrassment. It's an ego thing, and it's hyper masculinity. And I'm embarrassed for lying to you about that. I'm now telling my podcast audience what really happened. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm almost 50 years old, and and for me to lie about getting it on with two women 3 years ago, that I met at the supermarket, it's just. See, now you're going to act like it didn't happen. I'm telling you now, nothing happened. So when I came here, a few months later, when Lady A was already here, and you said, hey, could you give us a couple of minutes? And cause you answered the door and you had your shirt off, and she was running upstairs in her panties, and then she came out a couple of minutes later cause you wouldn't let me in, and, she wouldn't look at me, and she left. That was somebody else. Oh, really? And then a week later I come back, and then the Lady B, as you call her, was sitting on the couch, wearing your t-shirt and your shorts. And she was very, very familiar with the kitchen. Come on, man. I mean, like I said, leave the jokes to me, because none of that actually happened. Dude, come on now. Keep it clean. Keep it clean and simple, and tell the audience what happened. I don't know what he's talking about. I'm not that type of dude that would, get it on with two babes because they, I mean, when I was younger, I jumped on top of I've had a few occasions on the road when I did gigs when, it was just two women at the same time. But I said to myself, listen, once you pass 30, there's going to be no more of that. You're not going to do that anymore. And I kept that promise. Liar! Okay, listen. Full disclosure. I got it on with Lady A and Lady B. Okay? Thank you. Don't you feel better? No, I do not feel better. I was trying to tell them some stories, about, try to talk about how we all feel embarrassed sometimes, and it's okay to feel embarrassed if it's not something that you did personally wrong. You shouldn't really feel embarrassed. I mean, even if you do feel embarrassed, it's a passing thing, and I was going to go through that. I like to do those things. Yeah, I know what you do. And I admit it. I got it on with Lady A and Lady B. Yeah, I did it. Okay. All right. But listen, I did not, they said they weren't interested in the relationship. They just wanted to fool around a little bit. And I said, cool. Okay. We got blood tests. Everything was cool. Used protection. Jumped on top of both of them at the same time. And jumped on top of them individually. And then, that's what I did. That was like 3 or 4 years ago. I've made a decision after nailing, having intimate times with the two cute black women at the same time. And individually, I said, that's it. From now on, one lady at a time. That's it. And you're only going to get it on with women if you want to be in a relationship. And that's it. Okay, that part I believe. I believe that. I've seen you make a change because I've seen you become a better person. Thank you very much. Well, if you notice I was becoming a better person, why didn't you just let the lie slide? And then, because either way, the result is the same. I'm not that guy anymore who would, get it on with two hot black chicks because they offered to get it on with me. Either way, I've evolved past that guy who would, jump on top of women because they're hot and with no emotional attachment to them, even though treating them with respect and love, because they're the ones that said they wanted to nail me, and didn't want to be in a relationship. They just thought I had cute dimples and they wanted to jump on top of me. And I didn't expect both of them to do it, but that's beside the point. Either way, if you just kept your mouth shut, we would have still gotten to the point where we are now. You don't have to, like if you're married for 50 years and you have a happy, incredible marriage or something like that, and while you were dating, you cheated one time, you didn't get pregnant or you didn't make anyone pregnant, you didn't catch any diseases and all that kind of crap. And you said, this is wrong. I want to be serious with this person. And then you continue to date and then you got married and had a happy life. Would you go and go, 56 years ago, when we started dating after our 15th date, and I thought I hadn't decided whether I was really serious about you or anything like that, I got it on with somebody else. Would you bring it up then, or would you just go, screw it, I've been faithful to you for 56 years plus dating time, and then would you do that? Yeah, I would probably confess, because you're an idiot. Oh God. But getting that off my chest does make me feel better. So, podcast audience, I apologize for that little fib by omission that almost happened. And I promise you right now that will never happen again. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Okay, folks, this has been episode 331 of the S. Anthony Says podcast. Thank you very, very much for everything you've done. All new listeners in Australia, thank you. I appreciate you. I see you. New listeners in Canada, new listeners in Great Britain, thank you. New listeners here in the United States, thank you. And thank you for telling your friends about the podcast. I appreciate it. Much love to all of you. Much love to every member and every mode of the Bastard Army. Bastard Army America, Bastard Army Great Britain, Bastard Army Australia, Bastard Army Canada, and every place else. Now, folks, if you love this podcast, please rate and review this podcast. 5 stars, you bastards. And tell your friends about this podcast. I want to make the Bastard Army as great as possible so we can then take over the world and I can appoint myself as a fascist dictator. Because having a big audience is fun. Moving on. This podcast is on Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Podbean is the home base. And of course, I'm on the granddaddy iTunes, my friend, iTunes. For those of you that are new and don't have the email address, you can email me with your comments, questions, declarations of love to talktosanthony@gmail.com, TalkToSanthony at gmail.com. Talk to us, Anthony@gmail.com. Folks, I'm on social media. I have a YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing some things with that later on, but I need you to go subscribe to that channel, like the channel, and hit the notification bell. So when I start uploading some cool stuff, you'll know about it immediately. All right. I'm on Instagram as well. So go follow me on Instagram, you bastards. And of course, you can follow me on Instagram at my name, at S. Anthony Thomas. Sorry about the stutter. At S. Anthony Thomas. I am on Facebook as well. Follow my page on Facebook. All you got to do is go to Facebook, look into the search box, type in S. Anthony Says. You will see my blue check mark there, which is basically let you know that that's my page run by me, verified by Facebook. Oh, by the way, the YouTube channel for me, I'll tell you I'm on YouTube, but don't tell you the name of the damn channel. The YouTube channel is S. Anthony Says. Okay. As you can tell, this isn't written down. Okay. And I have 2 Twitter pages as well. The Twitter page for me specifically is at S. Anthony Thomas. And the Twitter page for this podcast is at S. Anthony Says. Folks, Bastard Army, much love to all of you everywhere that you're listening. I appreciate you. I love you. And thanks for a good 4 years and almost 5 years. It'll be 5 years on October 22nd. Thank you very much. Much love to everybody. And now, folks, I'm going to say goodbye to you the way I always say goodbye. I'm going to do it on the count of 3. I know you're in your car. I know you're in your truck doing some trucking. I know you're running on the treadmill right now. I know you're on a lawnmower. I know what you do, and I know what you say you're doing while you're listening to this podcast. And whatever you're doing, I want you to take a second while you're doing what you're doing. And on the count of 3, we're going to say goodbye to each other the way we always say goodbye, the way I always say goodbye. Are you ready? Of course you are. 1, 2, 3. S. Anthony. Out.